Check, check. There we are.
We are back.
We are back.
We are back. We are
That's our
live.
little intro. That's
Yeah.
our little intro for everybody watching
We're
here.
we're definitely on the road today. I
Yes.
want to welcome everybody into the show. Welcome to The Joint, another live broadcast.
Episode 12.
Episode 12, when you joined us last, we were coming to you live from Windsor, Ontario.
Windsor, Ontario, Shiny Bud Cannabis Co. in the parking lot with our friends from Fido.
Fido Extractions. We had just finished that 5-city tour.
Amazing.
We
In
pulled
the
up
RV.
into Windsor in the RV. And now fast forward, I guess it's like July to August, September. So 3 months later, here we are live, day one at MJBIZ in fabulous Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas.
Viva
And
Las
we're in the
Vegas.
heart of a solid cannabis community event here at MJBIZCon.
I'm not trying to
First
kick
day.
on the FOMO to anybody that's not here, but yeah, tons of people doing tons of cannabis things. The hotels are packed, the people are out, and yeah, it's
Parties, dinners, exhibitors, hangouts, meet and greets, sessions,
and
everything.
definitely listen. Like, shout out to MJBiz who made the entrance and the badge pickup seamless.
Yes.
Got rocking my badge right here, and coming to you
Yes.
live from booth 8407 in the Central Hall. We are broadcasting live from Flow Scientific's booth, right at the corner. You can find us right across from Dutchy. Super excited to be here. As always, I've got Mateo with me, who runs the ones and twos, usually behind the camera, but because we're on the road today, excuse us. We have no intro. We have no real cutaways.
Raw, live and direct.
Yeah, we're live and direct. So
That's
yeah, it's been a while since we caught up with everybody that either tunes in or follows everyone on social media. Quick shout out to Shiny Bud, who opened up their
38th store
38th store
last weekend. Three store openings in 2 weeks is amazing. The team's amazing. Did it really quick, swiftly.
Yeah,
and,
so
excited for more.
Yeah, shout out to Shiny Bud. And again, shout out to Flow Scientific. You can catch them live on the MJBiz trade show floor by the end of today, and then a full day tomorrow. I believe the trade show floor is open like 10 to 6 or something like that.
Something like that.
So yeah, 10 to 6 tomorrow, 10 to 6 on Friday. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring on our first guest is going to be the founder of the parent company of Flow Scientific. That's BC Hopco. So just give a quick second. We're going to bring on Dwayne Stewart, who's going to talk a little bit about the company. And after that, we're going to dive into a little bit of Flow Scientific people. So yeah, help me welcome
Mr.
Dwayne
Elkin.
Stewart.
How's it going?
Very good. How you doing, Dwayne?
Doing pretty well.
Yeah, I don't want to allude to this, but this is a happy 50th birthday to Dwayne.
Thank you very much.
So,
Thank you.
So Dwayne's manifested a full cannabis trade show at his 50th birthday party live
In
from
Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah,
Not bad.
If you're gonna do it, you do it that way. So kudos to you, and and really to all the success that you've had. I've been working with Dwayne and the BC Hopco company probably for the last 5 or 6 months, and true to them and their team, and sort of like what I do is find really good stories to tell. And the team that's backed behind the BC Hopco team, which is the Flow Scientific team, is really an amazing story to tell. But maybe you could tell us a little bit about what BC Hopco is doing, and maybe allude into the fact that this is an acquisition that you brought in under BC Hopco that
Absolutely.
marks yet another non-THC touching company, which is super interesting. So maybe if you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself and BC Hopco, and then lead into Flow Scientific, that'd be great.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm Dwayne. I'm the CEO and founder of BC Hopco Company. I started BC Hopco in 2015. To try to bring some revenue back to our family farm, and we started with hops and served the craft brewing industry. We did some amazing hop festivals and beer fests, and got ourselves established in that industry. But it wasn't moving at the speed that we needed to move at. In 2018, when legalization happened in Canada, we had an opportunity with hemp to take the skills that we had learned on how to prepare hops, which are a volatile, organic, outdoor grown product, and put it in the hands of brewers. Took that same experience and applied it against hemp.
Right.
And we created a product called Rex. And there's potency CBD for extraction in Canada. Really consider sort of what's next in the industry.
Right.
And our ethos is health and wellness. We've never really been from the legacy marketplace, and we've got a lot of respect for everyone that is part of that, and we serve them well. That's not where we think our runway is. So we focus on the non-THC, non-cannabinoids that are non-psychoactive.
Right.
And so for that, Flow Scientific was an opportunity to fold into the organization. It brought with it skills in formulation, which I think is a really important skill in the long term.
Yeah.
And it also gave us an opportunity to find different ways to utilize our hemp product.
Sure.
So, we're now working with cold recovered hemp terpenes, which are being infused into our blends with the botanically derived terpenes. Those are some amazing products coming out this year. And then it gives us an opportunity to consider what the non-THC space in the stores across Canada really needed.
Sure.
And that's Kinlock Naturals.
Right.
And their two brands, Rain and Evanesce. So Evanesce is going to be focused on high CBD vapes and hemp cigarettes.
So these are SKUs that you're launching to the adult use market under a CBD formulation.
100%.
Right. So this is going to be available. Where's the and sorry, just to backtrack a bit. Those are two brands. One's called Kinlock and one's called.
So the Kinlock's the parent. Kinlock
right. Okay.
Parent company.
So Kinlock sits under BC Hopco, which also sits in the same sort of branch as
So
Flow Scientific.
Kinlock owns Flow Scientific now,
Gotcha.
as well as Evanesce. And then Rain Botanicals. And Rain is actually the one that'll have the first product out. And that product is called CBZ. And
Z
it's
like zebra.
3 Zs.
A Z.
CBZ. So it's, as you can imagine, it's designed to help you have a nap. There's a hop terpenes in there, botanical terpenes, CBN and CBD, all in a convenient pill form. And those listed with the OCS in January. And we're actually launching it, soft launch in Saskatchewan next month.
Right. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff going on under the parent company, BC Hopco. What's super interesting about sort of the way that you guys have been operating is really going after that category that speaks to terpenes when you're talking about blending terpenes with topicals or tinctures.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think that you guys are going to position yourself from a how do I want to say it? From like a strategic? What makes you guys different from other terpene companies?
Function.
So
what we're trying to give you is not only the functional effect of the entourage that you get with CBD and THC and the other cannabinoids in combination, but then replacing them in that extracted product in a way that is actually functional. So whether it's in a pill or in a topical, in a vape or in an edible, we allow manufacturers to help create function from the cannabinoids that they're working with.
Nice. Yeah, it's super exciting. I mean, just in the short time that we've been working together, watching you guys work alongside a lot of different LPs, and what makes you different from I wouldn't say, because I haven't worked with a lot of other terpene companies, but companies in general, it's really understanding and catering to the needs of the client and making sure that, what you're doing is cohesive to their sort of like operation. So, making some of the things that make you different from my perspective is this Flow Scientific is run almost like it is run like a compliant LP, which means
100%.
you guys follow a strict set of SOPs and guidelines, quality assurance processes, especially when you're managing that relationship with the LP.
Yeah, Flow Scientific is GMP certified, and we take a lot of pride in that fact. So that means that everything that goes into, we have full, we call them BOMs, BOMs, bill of materials. The BOM that goes into every product is fully disclosed, and there's never any confusion with Health Canada. Any questions, any RFIs that come from Health Canada, we help respond to them.
Nice.
We make sure that there's a barrier between our clients and Health Canada as far as compliance as relates to terpenes, and that's a service that we provide all of our customers. Everything that we do is designed to delight our customers so that you can have that same effect downstream to your customers. And we're working with retailers now to put boards up in their health and wellness corners or whatever they're going to be doing to help promote terpenes as the more elevated understanding of cannabis.
Right.
And so those will be popping up in retail stores across Canada, we hope, in the next few months.
Yeah, it's changing the conversation, right? We need to start educating ourselves that it's not all about the THC. It's not all about the high potency. We need to start.
I have people that tell me I'd rather smoke a 14 or 15% product with 5 or 6% terpenes than 24%.
Yeah,
no terpenes.
I smoked a 31% strain the other day, and it was too much for even me. So yeah. Any big plans for the birthday tonight there, Dwayne?
We're going out to a bar and
so if you're in Las Vegas, Dwayne's 50th birthday party is at
and Ed's buying. So
and Ed's
good
buying.
news. Good news.
And it's day one of the show. We're coming up to the tail end. I can, it's been about 2 years off. Everyone can feel it in in their knees and their shin splints. Some of your thoughts about day one as it wraps up?
It's amazing. It's been great to see the Canadian contingent here strong.
Strong.
Talked to so many Canadian people here already. And I think there's a lot of opportunity here stateside for companies that know what they want to deliver and how to deliver it well.
Agreed. Yeah. So with that, I thank you for the opportunity not only to broadcast live from the booth, but the opportunity to work with such a great company. I'll wish you a happy birthday, and I kick Dwayne off to the side here, and then because we're here and we're focused on Flow Scientific, it's the booth, it's the reason that we're talking terpenes, it's the reason that they're here at the show. I want to bring on two people that are super intricate and key to the development of the success of this company. So without further ado, I want to bring on Katie Miller, and I want to bring on my old friend Ed Collins, who handle business development, sales, and pretty much anything and everything when it comes to do with Flow Scientific. So as good as a cheerleader is, as Dwayne is, these are the players on the field. These are the soldiers in the trenches. These are the guys that get it done. And yeah, I mean, I'm a massive Katie Miller fan. I'm a huge Ed Collins fan. Obviously, Ed and I have a relationship going back working in the CCI days. But when I first got introduced to Katie, which was through social media.
You're so polite to say introduced to. I stalked him.
Yeah. Well, no, it was, I was so nascent. I wasn't nascent to the role that terpenes plays in the cannabis space, but I was nascent to the underserving of the actual terpene market. That there was such a giant conglomerate of people that needed, and there was such a small proportion of people that delivered on the actual terpenes. So, when you approached me, I think it was like 6 or 7 months ago, it was a thoughtful process. And what I've been trying to do a lot more is shut up and listen and find that story. We've, like a good relationship that built slow. We have some amazing momentum. We're coming off of, it's been 21 days that we were at Hall of Flowers. So, this space is dictated by amazing people and carrying momentum. And here we are at day one, the end of day one at MJBiz, Dwayne's 50th birthday party. You guys are killing it. And now I want, people to understand sort of, obviously just to broaden the conversation of what Dwayne and I spoke about, but tell us a little bit about, we'll go with Katie first, but give us a little bit of a brief intro. Katie came with the acquisition. So when BC Hopco acquired Flow Scientific, Katie was currently working for Flow, and went along. And, like I say in this space, all great companies are dictated by great people. That's the story of life. And yeah, without further ado, tell us a little bit about how do you end up at day one MJBiz October 20th on this show.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yes.
A ton of planning. It's been exciting. It still feels surreal. I can't believe it, but it is really exciting. Yeah. I feel like we took the main stage this year.
Yeah.
Flow Scientific was an attendee in 2019. We sort of littered the place with our samples a little bit, really just testing the waters. And we are very viable in the US, the border biggest obstacle that we'll quickly overcome. But yeah, true to form, our terpenes are the best in the world. And they all come from Canada, and we have so much invested in those terpenes and in our customers and their success. I think that's what's really helped us gain traction quickly and find momentum and those partners that want to move, because terpenes don't sit on shelves. They're volatile and they're organic and they're natural. So they're going to go away no matter what we do. So it's about finding the right customer, getting them into a product, and getting them into the customer's hands.
And then delivering and being consistent and quality assurance and making sure you rinse and repeat and do it 800. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So how long have you been? So BC Hopco acquired Flow April 1st, 2020 in the height of the lockdown pandemics. Yep. And so now we're like 6-7 months later.
Yes.
And there's the full amalgamation. Ed's been brought on to handle the full scale up, the full business development, and really taking this company sort of to a next level. So Ed, tell a little bit about your role with I mean, but you have your hands in BC Hopco, in Kinlock, in all of the sections.
The organization.
Right.
So I was brought on.
Sorry, I'm just going to get my water here.
No problem. I was brought on actually into BC Hopco, the parent company. And one of the really focal points of what I do is to try and look at other markets. I've been spending a lot of time in the past with CCI, with Milla Supply in the European marketplace, building relationships, building partnerships. We already have 6 joint ventures or MOUs that we've signed outside of Canada. And those are for specific things, whether it's BC Hopco, that's really our CBD, CBG business.
Sure.
We supply most of the extractors in Canada with high quality C and Rex, which is ready to extract material.
Right.
Or the Flow Scientific side, which is we're really pushing outside of Canada. As we became the largest provider in Canada, we look outside our own borders because it's something that, number one, we can transport across borders, which is really important because we can't do that with our Rex and with any CBD.
Which changes the conversation because then I get to call American companies and they're shipping stuff across the border and they're paying in American dollars. So they get that exchange rate.
They do.
And they're not dealing with companies that deal with such a heavy compliance because chances are that your competition is operating in the States and, you know, what happens in California doesn't happen in Oregon, and you can't do what you do in Nevada. But when you're playing up in the north, what you do in BC is what you do in Newfoundland. So
it's very consistent compared to the way the states are run in the U.S. It's 50 different little countries. And for us, regulatory framework is across the country. We're fully legalized, and we work with pretty much all of the big names in Canada to help them with their terpene profiles, whether it's the 120 profiles that we currently have or the huge number of custom profiles that we've developed too.
Right.
That I think is really important because that's something that can differentiate.
So custom formulations, right? So the LP is able to come to the license holder is able to come to you and almost give you what they want from a finished product, and you guys reverse engineer this.
Smarter people than me do that,
right?
Like Katie,
of course,
but,
yes. I always I'm with Bozo. It's with me,
right?
Exactly. So that's really something that, you know, all you people that are sourcing terpenes out there have to understand is custom formulations. Really understanding that you're working with the end product, the end result, and making sure that is delivered time and time again. So, what is the next forget about like the end of the year. We're in October. We're in the end of the year. What does 2022 look like for? Let's take Flow. No, let's look at the overlying the parent company first. So that would be BC Hopco, right? So what are some of the goals that you're looking to achieve in 2022?
Well, I think
some of the stuff that you can speak to.
Sure, I think one of the big ones is a very high potency CBD supply. We're going through harvest right now, and we're very fortunate to have had a really good CBG harvest, which there's not a ton of CBG in the marketplace in Canada. So that's going to be a benefit to us. So we have to maintain that. We have to look at bringing new strains into the marketplace. So that's a big 2022.
New CBD strains.
New CBD strains.
Yeah.
We have Painted Lady and 88, which are part of our smokable brands.
Right.
We have a focus on some fresh
we
frozen.
don't have the Kinlock branding, right? Not the Kinlock, we had the sell sheet that we could have shown for the vape pen that's being launched. We don't.
Oh, the Evanesce.
The Evanesce. There you go. Sorry about that.
Kinlock is the brand house, and underneath that there's Evanesce, which is our smokable brands.
Right.
So we're listing some great terpene product in that Evanesce. We've actually, with our chief scientists and with Katie, we've developed a product called Fluidity.
Okay.
Which allows us to get extremely high content CBD into a vapes. We're talking 85 to 87% without crystallization.
Okay.
Which is with a very nice terpene profile, as Katie says.
So are you keeping? You're going to so those will be launched under the Kinlock.
Right, under the Kinlock brand. It's an Evanesce product. It's going to be called Absolute CBD. And the OCS has picked that up, which is great.
So we should be looking for that in 2022.
Absolutely, along with other brands. I mean, we look at what we're growing in the ground, and we want to actually see that on the shelves. We see it with a lot of our partners, but we'd like to see some of our own brands out there.
So does that look like, is that all in-house, all under one roof? That's all so you guys become maybe like a CBD house of brands? Is that what you're kind of looking like with differentiated strains, differentiated terpene formulations, all that type of stuff?
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. So really, like we talked about, some of your mission statements or your ethos is changing the conversation around cannabis that's backed by educated terpene conversation, right?
I think what we want to be known as in the years that come on are that we're the non-THC group. Everything we sell is low to no THC, and which is a market that we see that's going to grow. I mean, when CBD and any of the other smaller cannabinoids get into market where it doesn't have to be sold into a retail distributor through a dispensary, like every other country, I think that's a big bonus for us.
Sure.
Because we have a huge supply of CBD, and then we have products that are going into that market.
One of the other aspects I wanted to touch on, we spoke about this a little before, and we've got this great Flow Scientific branded fridge here, is what you guys also have planned for the next upcoming year, which is starting to branch off and do retail sales of terpenes. So, Katie, maybe you want to talk about that, about what you're going to be doing in stores, some pilot projects that you have coming up. I know maybe we can mention Raheem and what's going on at Hybrid Pharma, which is based out of Ottawa.
Yep.
And then we can allude maybe a little bit to some of the pilot projects we'll be doing with Shiny Bud coming up. But
Yep.
yeah, talk a little bit about, again, it's all this circular motion going back to changing the conversation. And the only way you do that is at a store level.
Yep.
So yeah, what are your plans for a retail launch of selling botanical terpenes to people?
For sure. Yeah, it is an interesting one. Like Ed says, terpenes can already cross over. They are a more concentrated version of an essential oil, essentially.
Yeah.
However, cannabis does produce them as well. So when we work with these botanical terpenes, they contain no THC or CBD and have not been derived from anything that ever did have cannabinoids. So it is just the smell. So it's a nice place to start. It's also a nice place to bring that education about, people are behind me smelling our Blue Dream. They're like, that just lifted my afternoon. I feel
Right.
so much better. I feel refreshed. And they haven't touched a cannabinoid.
Sure.
So you can't tell me the entourage effect, isn't happening, or that terpenes don't affect people. And there's, lots of science to prove that. So there's no reason something like this couldn't be at the countertop of a dispensary for folks to be able to customize their experience just a little bit more when they're grinding up their flour or cutting it or preparing their paper. Or rehumidifying. We've had folks that are cultivators themselves and start to introduce raw terpenes to their cultivation operation.
So these are samples in here. This is the type of
Yeah.
samples that you're sending out
yeah,
to
maybe Ed, you
LPs
can
or
hold this.
Yeah,
or
sure.
cannabis companies.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like straight up, if you guys are if you're out there and you're looking for samples, definitely hit up Katie on her Twitter. Yeah, on the website. Yeah.
Yeah, super
So-
small, so they're
yeah.
not dangerous. Oh, sorry. Super small, so they're not dangerous. They would be flammable, so don't light them completely. But like I say, I've put them on my flour, and it doesn't, you're not talking about anything more than just your regular combustion. It imparts a little bit more moisture. I've used these ones straight up into vape carts that I would make at home, just like our R&D customers are doing on their benches in their labs. And yeah, it's really everything you need. And so why not give the consumer that? Have that experience at the counter of smelling something that gives you a little bit of an uplift, more so than I'd say most of the products, because of the packaging and the regulation and the guidelines. You can't smell anything in store.
Yeah.
It's when you get home.
Oh, I never even thought about that. Right? You could. So
Correct,
so
not a
hold on a
critique.
second. So because there's no smell jars, right, in retail stores.
Certainly not since COVID. They don't want you putting your nose on anything.
So, but technically, you could have like terpene. So because these are all strains, right? You have green
Yeah.
apple and you have
Correct.
you could have someone smell a Blue Dream terpene and then attempt to bring them the strain that smells
Totally.
like
Actually
the.
had a great idea about a scratch and sniff.
What was that?
You can put terpenes on scratch and sniff,
Yeah.
and that would be a way you can smell. So I think as we get further into
Deeper
it,
and
and
deeper.
people are curious and coming looking for this knowledge, there's so many fun ways you can deliver
I
it.
think it like really boils down to like we don't know what we don't know, and
100%.
like people are like, well, why you want to put terpenes into a retail store? I'm like, well, because we don't know, how to educate people and how to
Correct.
change that conversation. So maybe you talk a little bit about what you guys are gonna be doing with Raheem and Hybrid
Absolutely.
Hybrid Pharma.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to that end, like there's no more perfect cannabis accessory than terpenes in my mind. And we have to fit that within the regulatory system. So yeah, what we've talked about with Raheem is actually providing our terpenes in his store, which is such a brilliant model as a compounding dispensary and pharmacy. They are able to customize more and to guide their customers through that conversation.
Mhm.
And these terpenes are just the perfect ingredient, whether you're working on a capsule or an ingestible
yeah.
or a vape. And we have worked with LPs to take their terpene profile from their grown flower and then recreate that. So it builds consistency and reliability. And I think Raheem has the perfect vessel to transfer that. People come looking wanting to learn something, wanting to feel better about their own health and how they can take a bit of a charge of that. And terpenes allows you to do that.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's your medicine. This is not recreational at where Raheem is working in the pharma. It's your medicine, and if you can make it taste the way you want it to taste,
Sure.
what a bonus that is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's amazing at what he's doing, and I know he's partnered up with Clinton. There's a whole big thing coming with the way that they're going to be revolutionizing the way that yeah, exactly. So yeah, super excited. And then we're going to be doing a couple of pilot projects with Shiny Butt across Ontario, where it's going to be wall displays and some counter displays, but really, again, trying to understand if this is a wellness target or a wellness discussion we need to start having, what surrounds all that, whether it's companies like Avicanna that have those, pain topicals, or I think it was Atlas that I spoke to today, who has the transdermal THCs that they're getting ready to launch. So yeah, as we start to see all these new form factors come onto the market, start to understand what you can dial back and put into these formulations and these SKUs is really going to be game changing.
Totally. And then we will learn about the properties that the terpenes hold themselves. Neurologol helps things absorb to your skin. Go figure. It should be in every topical that has cannabis in it, because it's going to pull it into your injury that much quicker. So yeah, the science and the knowledge will also then propel forward.
Yeah. So what do you guys have planned for like the rest of the week? You guys are going to be posted up in this booth.
Yeah, I mean, we've got an event tonight, obviously, which we're really excited about. There's lots of U.S. and Canadian clients that are going to be joining us for a few hours tonight.
Awesome.
Tomorrow we have Chef Jordan Wagner.
Wagman
is going to be actually doing cooking demonstrations with terpenes. And he's
already on Las Vegas soil, I believe.
He is.
He's been posting and running around. So Jordan, definitely, guys, stop by booth 8407 tomorrow, where Jordan's. Yeah. So he's going to be doing cooking stuff in here.
The booth, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
With the terpenes.
Okay.
And has started building recipes. Started building recipes and things like that with them as well. So yeah, continuing to talk about terpenes.
Can you lead into any type of stuff that he's?
It's going to be something blueberry with our Blue Skittles profile.
Oh,
and
wow.
we did feature it for the Athletes for Care event today that him and Tyler were at.
Okay.
So it has been out there. I'm not breaking news, but yes, that's our sneak peek for tomorrow, and I hear it's fantastic.
Super cool. And then Friday is another full day at the show. Is there any other type of special activations
we don't have
that you guys are doing
Friday for activations, but
standing
lots of samples.
We're going to attempt to be standing.
Absolutely, the whole team will still be here. And yeah, smiling and doing the show and smell like we love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think that from a Friday perspective, I think that what I'm going to be doing, what Dwayne's going to be doing, what Tyler's going to be doing is really going out to the rest of the area, because we've been stuck in the booth all day. It's been so busy.
There is a lot of ground to cover.
This
is definitely the biggest spread that they've put on. I think it's like 5 or 6 different halls within the convention hall, and you need 4 or 5 days to get through it. So a little bit of like running around on Friday, pressing the flesh.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. And we just want to go out and we want to meet as many license holders that make brands and could use terpenes.
Right. So how do people get in touch with you besides hitting you up on your Twitter? What's the best way for people to reach out to you, not only for getting their samples, but for really understanding, collaborating together, right? Reverse engineering the end result here.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Always plan with the end in mind.
Nice.
Right.
Yes.
Katie@flowsci.com is probably the best way to get a hold of me. Our website is flowscientific.ca, also where you can drop a request for samples there, and I'm sure Ed has some coordinates.
Yeah, mine, the best is through Edward C. at BC Hopco, bchop.co. That's the easiest way of getting hold of me, or my just text me or WhatsApp me.
Amazing. And then in terms of trade shows, you guys are going from Vegas. You're doing Grow Up, Lift. What's the run up here?
I'll tell
what's
you
the tour dates, Ed?
I'll tell you where we're traveling.
The road again.
I think we're following the Red Hot Chili Peppers this year.
So. Are you really? No.
So we're heading off to Jolly Old England in November for Cannabis Europa. It's something I've been to every year.
Wow.
And we're really looking forward to meeting some of the larger manufacturers in the UK especially, but all of Europe. And then we're doing some tours and visits in Manchester and London of a couple of the facilities. And obviously we're taking in the show.
And those dates are when?
That is November 10th and 11th.
November 10th and 11th in Europe.
In the UK, in London. And then we're off for the last show of the year, down to beautiful Palm Springs.
For our
Cauliflowers
Cauliflowers December 8th and 9th.
Yeah.
You can catch me there as well,
Yeah.
along with my business partner and Smoke and Timber. We'll be doing another winter session there. But yeah, so you guys you are doing Lift and Grow
Yes,
Up?
we will
Yeah.
have someone at Lyft. More than likely, Katie's
Yeah.
going to be joining Lyft.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
and I'll be heading down to Niagara Falls. I mean,
For Grow Up,
I grew up there,
Ed,
so
that's Ed's stomping ground. Yeah.
Randy would want me to be
Shades
there.
of CCI. So yeah, listen, again, amazing. I'm so grateful that I'm working with you guys. You guys are a solid team. It's an amazing story that we're telling. The market is underserved, not only by amazing cannabis companies, but by amazing cannabis companies that provide botanical terpenes.
Not too many of us that.
Yeah. So listen, it's amazing to be back
Thank you,
on
Mike.
a trade show floor.
So amazing.
Look forward to seeing everybody in and around Las Vegas. I'm here till Sunday night. I've got a bunch of stuff going on, but yeah, again, thanks Mateo, who's behind the camera.
So cool to meet Mateo.
If there's anything, there was something I wanted to say for the. Hit me up too if you guys want to work with Flow Scientific or get in touch with them. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, posting about everything and anything. Really want to thank you guys. Have a good rest of the week.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
so much for having us.
Mateo,
Cheers,
shut her
guys.
down.